We're back with another one of Nathan Bell's commentary videos about life, society, philosophy, science. Take it where you get it. Nathan's stuff is great. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And if you've got a friend that's interested in the topic today, which is why Nate stopped watching entertainment content, then give it a share with them. But over to you, Nate. Why did you stop watching entertainment content?
Yeah, well, about 7 or 8 years ago, I decided that I wanted to pursue factual information as a very specific course in life because I wanted to be more informed about how the world works. And so this was a very specific decision I made to abandon entertainment content and television. And I was so determined in it that I actually did up a flyer that said abandon TV and all this other stuff, and when handed out hundreds of copies of this flyer to people around Newcastle trying to start a movement about abandoning television and entertainment content. Now, it's not because I don't value entertainment content. I think entertainment content is great. You know, I want to make movies. I love movies. I love music. I love television series. But I just decided that I wanted the focus of my leisure time to be on learning about the nature of the universe and the world and getting more informed. So the last show I enthusiastically followed was Game of Thrones, and I got up to season 4 when it was released, and then that's about when I abandoned entertainment content, and that was the last show that I watched. The only other show or movie that I have watched through since that season 4 of Game of Thrones came out, which was years ago now, 8 years ago or something. The only other show I've watched through is with my parents. We watched the SBS's War on the World show because they wanted to watch it, so I decided to watch it through with them, and we watched it. And that's the only shows or movies I've watched in a very, very long time. And basically what I do in my leisure time is I read science articles, I read academic material, I watch lectures by universities on YouTube, because there are so many different universities that put their lectures on YouTube. And I read current affairs and news and follow geopolitics and politics in different countries and different laws changing. I'm very interested in what the law is and when the law is changing. So that's what I do now. It's fully factual information: science, history, psychology, psychiatry, biology, physics, anything I can get into. And I've been totally immersed in knowledge, factual knowledge, for about 8 years now. And absolutely, this change has been one of the best decisions of my life, and it has put me in a better position to live a productive, good life, because now I'm super informed. And it's okay that people like to watch shows and stuff, but like what I've realised is the less you watch shows, Big Brother, Married at First Sight, Australian Idol, or Game of Thrones, or movies, the less you focus on that mindless entertainment content and focus on knowledge, the more, with every day that passes, you become more informed, you become more well-read. And I've gotten to such a point where I've been binging on science and facts for so long that I've come to a point where I know all this stuff. Like, I know in-depth arguments about politics, I know in-depth concepts of science, I know heaps about history, I know all this stuff, and now I've got this huge worldview, this very complicated worldview that I've developed very intentionally through setting out to learn as much about the world and the universe as I can. So, I definitely feel like I'm in a better position to live a better, more productive life because I exclusively read factual information. Now, I love movies and stuff, and I definitely don't want to tell people that they shouldn't, or that it's immature or a bad decision to enjoy recreational entertainment content. But I'm telling you, it's very powerful when you become very informed. And if you go through my 47 videos I've done now, 47 opinion pieces about a variety of subjects, you can see how developed my views are and how informed I am about the world. And that is because I don't watch entertainment content. It's because I exclusively read factual information and stay up to date with the current affairs. So, I just can't emphasise enough how informed I feel now that I've given this much time to factual information. So my movement is Abandon TV, and like I said, I handed out a whole bunch of flyers around Newcastle that said Abandon TV. I very specifically set out to abandon entertainment content and indulge in factual information. And I've been pushing that agenda now for many years, and that's one of the agendas that I push: abandon entertainment content and get informed. Be invested in how the world works. Know everything you can. You can never know enough. And what I want to say about Australian culture and the Western world and most of the world is most people would just prefer ignorance is bliss. They would prefer to sit down at the end of their workday and watch something that isn't important. They don't want to deal with important issues, and that's why so many people can't talk about the important issues. Like, you can say what you want about some of my opinions, which are controversial, and you can say that maybe some of my facts are wrong, but at least I can talk about the issues and I keep up to date. And every day I check the news, and every day I follow what the world leaders are doing and what the global players are doing, and I follow the different laws that are changing in different issues. So I'm always on the ball, and like stuff like freedom of information and UFOs and transparency, I'm on the ball. You want to ask me about what releases the American government has done in the last few years of previously secretive information, I can tell you heaps about it. I know so much about declassified material from the US. That's one thing I specialise in, is the freedom of information releases from the CIA and the American military intelligence community. And I wouldn't say I specialise, I don't have any degree, but that's what I've focused a great deal of my energy on, and I can tell you heaps about that. And people just don't know this stuff because people watch Big Brother, and because they watch Neighbours, and because they just listen to music, and they just enjoy life. And I think that's great, because life is to be enjoyed and we should all be happy. And if you feel that being ignorant to relevant issues in favour of being blissfully having fun, then I respect that, because, life can be quite negative when you get into all the serious mumbo-jumbo about how the world works. But, I definitely advocate for spending more time getting informed on the issues and understanding the world you live in. And in order to do that properly, you have to abandon all that entertainment junk that the television feeds you, all that mindless, senseless crap that doesn't teach you anything. You have to be focused on education. I'm focused now on educating myself and being the most informed person I can be, and knowing as much as I can about the world before I die, so that I understand the world that I lived in while I was alive, and so that I can bring informed opinions to the world. And so many people, most people just watch entertainment stuff and they ignore the important issues. So, if you want to be a switched-on, informed person who can speak their mind and say things that are at least relatively accurate, you have to abandon entertainment content like Big Brother and all that. So that's my advice to anyone who wants to be switched on and know what's going on. And that is enlightenment. Knowledge is enlightenment. Knowledge is truth. So, get out there, abandon TV, abandon entertainment content, and get immersed in the facts and understand the world.